Hello everyone and welcome back. Today I'm going to be reviewing North Mountain Blade Chop 2 folding knife. There's a lot of new things that I've never covered before, so power through those close-ups with me and I'll get started. This is the Chop 2, designed by North Mountain Blade, a company that has been around since 2018. There's no real information on their website about who they are as a company, and some people speculate it's a Chinese company, but until they come out and say for sure, I don't want to misrepresent them, so don't hold me to this. The Chop 2 is one of many in the Chop series line. The Chop line has everything from fixed blades to folders, and so many variations in between. I recommend that you check out the link in my description to see all the options in the series. The one that I have here is the Chop 2 with the aluminum bronze handle with stripe accents featuring the SLD-Magic blade. We'll get to what makes it magical in a second. Hold on. The Chop 2 is a folding knife that you can deploy two ways. One, using the button here, or using the flipper tab here. And I will always prefer the flipper tab. The knife is then locked into place using that same button locking mechanism. It's not my personal favorite mechanism, but it works well. The style of this button lock mechanism is also sometimes referred to as a plunge lock, meaning that the spring-loaded button goes into a notch in the blade tang, which then locks the knife. But let's get into the blade itself here, because this is where the beauty of this really lies, in my opinion. The Chop 2 features a traditional Japanese tanto blade shape. It is known to be superior in strength and cutting ability. I've covered a really brief history about it in a recent video here, so I won't go over it again. If you're interested and willing to help a girl out for the algorithm, please go watch it. I love tanto blade shapes, and there's something so beautiful and captivating about it for me. And this one is one of the more unique ones that I have seen. The Chop 2's blade is made out of SLD-Magic, and North Mountain Blade goes into more detail about it on their site. But basically, it was designed by Hitachi Metals as an improvement on SKD-11, a tool steel similar to D2. SLD-Magic's exact composition is proprietary, but they have added elements to increase its hardness and wear resistance and machinability. Now, you also may have noticed that this blade steel was forged using a sanmai technique. It's a Japanese technique for using a hard steel at its core that is sandwiched between softer steel layers on each side. In Japanese, sanmai essentially means 3 layers or 3 flat things. The reason why I like the look of the sanmai steel specifically is because it features that distinctively patterned line where the two different steels meet. This line reminds me of a hamon, which is one of the most recognizable features of samurai swords. The hamon translates literally to edge pattern, and it is a visible effect that can be created on the blade during the hardening process by covering the spine of the blade in clay. The hamon is the outline of the yakiba, or hardened zone, which contains the ha, or the cutting edge of the blade. There's so much history behind it, I recommend reading into it. Okay, off of my history horse. The Chop 2 has a compound grind, which literally means that it has 2 different grind types. The primary blade grind is a hollow grind, which keeps things nice and thin behind the edge. This was a good choice as the overall blade stock is quite thick, as you can see. But the hollow grind makes it nice and slicey, and it keeps the material from sticking to the blade while cutting, due to its shallow concave shape. The downside of the hollow grind is that it is not as durable as some other grinds due to the thinness behind the edge, which can make it more prone to chipping or rolling, but so far I haven't experienced any issues. The tip of the blade has a flat grind, and this provides extra strength and durability for piercing. And if you look at the spine of the blade, you can see that the steel retains its thickness close to the tip for even more durability. The blade length on the Chop 2 is 3.5 inches with an overall length of 8 inches. For size comparison, let's compare this to the usual trio. First, the Spyderco Paramilitary 2. Next, the Civivi Elementum, which looks small in comparison. And finally, the Civivi Baby Banter, which looks ridiculously small. Now, I am sure that you're wondering about the handle itself here. If you've ever seen this, you may realize that it is not as shiny as the three little stripes. The handle is made out of aluminum bronze, which has an anti-corrosion feature that supposedly slows down the oxidation process and reduces the chance of rusting. The website does say that it has an antique finish that develops a unique patina over time, but it happened a little faster than I think my fiance realized. Within a few days of use, it darkened a lot. However, we didn't use it all day every day, so we were surprised at how dark it got. I don't think it's really a bad thing, I just thought it would have stayed a bit shinier longer. Here it is though, compared to the Spyderco Tenacious, with solid brass scales from Flytanium. While we have owned and used the Spyderco for quite a while, the brass remains fairly bright and yellow in comparison. And we've only had the Chop 2 for a few weeks, and the aluminum bronze handle has darkened significantly. I mean, that's ridiculous. That's a lot. Another thing that I will mention is that the weight of this is 6.8 ounces. It's a little heavier than I would have thought it was, but more on that later. Save that tab in your brain. While the handle does feature these 6 total, because the other side, milled out lines, it doesn't take away any of the weight of that knife. It just makes it look pretty. To carry the Chop 2, you can use the deep carry pocket clip here, but unfortunately it is not ambidextrous. So let's get to the segment of does this fit into your pockets, on your pants, or in your purses. For pockets, if you have them, it fits nicely in the front and back pockets. I'm showing the Chop 2 in my new selvage denim pants that I got for my birthday that features real pockets. It's a blessing, truly, and such a rarity in women's pants. On your pants refers to ladies who may want to have something with them while they're running, or if they prefer leggings, but due to the weight of the knife, I personally would not recommend it. In your bags or purses, as long as you don't have a tiny little bag, you should be able to add it without having it take up too much space. As for the price of this, I bought this for my fiance as a gift on Amazon for about $160. It's pretty reasonable considering the fancy blade steel and the overall knife and the materials. So let me break down the reasons why I like the knife and things that I think that could be improved on. First, the blade shape is always going to be one of my preferred favorites, not just for the look of it, but also for the rich history of it. I also really love how this is patinaed, and while we thought it wasn't going to do it as fast, it's still wonderful to see the different character pieces of the knife come through as we are using it. Another thing is that I like the 3 stripes here that are still a little bit shiny. They really stand out as a nice contrast against the patina. I also appreciate the extras that came with the knife, featuring a nice hard case and a cleaning cloth. It also has a filler tab if you wanted to take off the pocket clip as well. For the things that I think that could be improved on, it mainly comes down to the actual weight of the knife. This is pretty heavy, all things considered. And most of the time, manufacturers will actually mill out some of the spaces on the inside of the handles to lessen the weight of the knife in the hand. Like on the inside of the CJRB Pyrite. On the Chop 2, they didn't do any internal milling at all. And while this likely reduces the manufacturing cost, it leads to a heavier knife. I also wish that they had more of a deep carry pocket clip here, so that the knife would sit a little bit deeper into the pocket, but maybe I can find a third-party clip that would fit it. But as far as suggestions go, that's really all I have. For those who care, the nails that I am wearing today to sort of match are from the brand called Kiss. So that's it. That's all I got. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. Did you love this? Hate this? Let me know if there's something that I may have missed. As always, I try to end with something inspirational or something nice because I'm not sure if we've been teleported to a different timeline where 1984 is on the to-do. So my inspiration or cheat code for you all today is how to tell what is a high-quality dry pasta. And mainly, you'll want to avoid overly yellow-looking pasta. That's been through a very quick drying process, and it should really be dried slowly, which preserves the structure, nutrients, and natural colors of the flour. I added a link to the reel and more information on where I've got that from. So if you can, please subscribe and share my channel with your friends and your lady friends. I would appreciate it. Thank you everyone for taking the time and making it to the end. My self-esteem thanks you. The hamon translates literally to mean edge pattern, and it is a vegetable. It's a vegetable. It's Vegeta. While we have owned and used the Spider Quo. It's Spider Quo. God, I can't fucking talk today.